If I didn't go on to Tariq's page, I would have not known about this right here. Now, we all know who this man is in this picture. I'm not sure who the model is. I'm guessing her name right there under the caption. I think this is that her name? It says Parnia Portia. I guess that's her name. I'm not entirely sure. She looks like one of the Kardashians before they had the work done. But anyway, we know that the guy on the right is none other than Carlos Irwin Estevez, but the world knows him as Charlie Sheen. Yes, in case y'all did not know, Charlie Sheen's real last name is Estevez, even though he goes professionally by Charlie Sheen. He is Emilio Estevez's brother. And of course, Martin Sheen is their dad. But anyway, he is claiming that now he's trying to make a comeback. And one thing I could not help but notice was the caption above and below his name. Now I'm going to start with the first one. It says, "The new and improved." Listen, any person that can do what this man did a few years ago, in my eyes, cannot be new or improved. He just can't be. But what really got me was the caption underneath his name. It says, "Charlie Sheen talks women, Hollywood, bouncing back in his latest Ultra Tune TV commercial with co-star Rubber Girl." Rubber. Something his ass should have been using when he was out here trying to live all wild and free and quote unquote winning, with him knowingly having HIV and possibly exposing many other women to that disease, that virus, I should say. Now here's where white privilege kicks in. This guy exposed people to a illness or a virus that you cannot get rid of. Once you have it, you got it for good, and you have to take meds in order to suppress it so it doesn't turn into full-blown AIDS. They would never, ever allow a black celebrity to do what he did, first of all, and then put himself on the cover of Maxim, which is usually reserved for people like the one he's modeling with in this picture. That's usually, the cover is usually reserved for like swimsuit models or other female celebrities. So to see him on the cover kind of caught me by surprise. But they would never let a black person do what he did and then get on this cover and then claim that they're trying to make a comeback here. What they did was they probably told Charlie Sheen to lay low so all of this can blow over, and then try to, you know, just slowly baby steps your way back into coming into the spotlight. We didn't forget what he did. We kept wondering why back then, why Charlie Sheen's behavior was so erratic. We never knew, because, you know, maybe that was just how Charlie Sheen always was. We never knew why he left 2.5 Men. We thought maybe he was just having issues with people on the set, which could have been the case. But it all turned out is because he was hiding the fact that he had HIV. Okay, fine, you have HIV. Protect yourself. But the thing is, he kept messing around with a bunch of people and exposing it to them. I sure hope that they all went to the clinic and got tested. And I sure hope that he took his meds. But the way he was going off and trying to be a free spirit, I wonder if he even did. And I noticed too, like in the caption, it doesn't mention anything about him living with HIV. It's almost like they're trying to brush off the fact that this guy actually has that. But I actually came across another article too when I was pulling this picture up, and it was saying something to the effect of he has an $8.5 million house that he's trying to sell. The reason being, he doesn't really have the money that he used to. He's not making that much money. The last thing that we remember Charlie Sheen doing was 2.5 Men. And that show's been off the air for a couple of years now. But of course, he ended up leaving the show before, and then they brought Ashton Kutcher in to replace him, and it stayed on for a few more seasons before they canceled it. The thing is this. White celebrities, for the most part, are allowed to make a comeback and from a huge scandal such as the one that Charlie Sheen did, because that was a big deal at the time, and then they'll try to erase or try to make you forget what they did. And if you dare bring it up, they'll say, oh, that was in the past. That was in the past. But when you have people like Chris Brown, who they cannot seem to shake his past, and he's trying to shake it himself, and we all want to move on for it because it happened, whatever. They tell us that we can't move on from our scandals. They have to make sure to have that in our face each and every time. Like every time something happens to Chris Brown, they always have to find a way to slip somewhere in the article about what happened between him and Rihanna every single time, because they want to remind you of, in their eyes, what a savage he is. They'll never let it go. Even if they bring up something about, say, Michael Jackson, like for instance in this documentary, the man's been dead for almost 10 years, but they want to bring out this documentary talking about the two cases that these two guys, one of them who I know is a habitual liar, and saying that Michael did something to them. When we all know it's just a waste of time and it's a lie. I don't know why HBO even bothered picking that up, but that's one thing I will not be watching. And then it's a host of other things. But I don't forget easily. And I don't forget what Charlie Sheen did. And as a matter of fact, what Charlie Sheen did, out of the two things that I mentioned involving Chris Brown and Charlie Sheen's incidents were more recent. We're talking about him doing this stuff maybe back in 2012, 2013, 2014, maybe around that time right there. But they just told him to lay low, stay out of the spotlight, and then we're going to slowly bring you back into the fold. And we'll try our best to suppress the media from talking about that winning stuff, or that you had HIV and that you exposed people to this virus. But I and many others will never forget that. That's kind of unforgettable. I mean, this guy was going around and could have possibly spread a virus to somebody, and they always call it the gift that keeps on giving, but it's that gift that you can't give back. You're stuck with it. That's what he did, and he knew he had it. But see, in the state of California, if y'all didn't know, you can have HIV or AIDS or any type of STD, and you can spread it to someone, and you don't even have to tell them that you have it. And if they get it, they can't hit the person who gave it to them with a felony. They used to back in the day, but now they don't. They call California the most liberal state, more like the most retarded state when it comes to stuff like that. So that means Charlie Sheen could have been spreading this stuff around, and the people got it, and they can't bring up charges on him, and he didn't have to tell them about his status. That's California in a nutshell. But I don't know if it was around when he actually did it, but it's interesting that they bring that up if it involves mostly white people. Notice they always switch stuff around when it involves them. If they have a wide outbreak or something, then they switch stuff around to benefit them, so they won't end up in jail. Because technically that should be seen as a felony known as attempted murder. But you know how that goes. But y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I will talk to you in the next one.